Hey everybody, it's Abby Lodmer here of Humor Healing Humanity and also your Hippocrates Health Institute health educator, here to talk about protein. The truth about protein and the best sources of protein. So, we humans build our own protein in our bodies. It's like breathing. When we feed our bodies enough of the proper vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and phytonutrients that they need, they can build their own proteins as they are built to do. They meaning our magical, amazing, incredible, self-sufficient bodies. So the over 2 million different types of protein in our bodies, we create ourselves, mostly. So there are two different types of amino acids. There is essential and non-essential. We build our own non-essential proteins, and the essential we need. All essential amino acids come from plants. All of them. All. So that's pretty much it. I could end the video right here. All essential amino acids come from plants. So the ones that we don't have in our own bodies, that we don't build ourselves from what we eat, come from plants. So all life on Earth comes from the sun. The sun hits a seed or the leaf of a plant, causing photosynthesis, and those plants create nutrients. Plants are nutrient producers, animals are nutrient consumers, okay? So eating too much protein will absolutely destroy your body. It will cause inflammation, premature aging, make cancer cells grow, and will devastate your organs, starting with your liver and kidneys. I mean, has anybody stopped to wonder why there are dialysis clinics in mini malls nowadays? Well, the Western medical establishment, who is in bed with the FDA and the CDC and the government-subsidized meat and dairy industries and the chemical companies who produce GMOs and pesticides, that medical and government establishment, they're hand in hand, who has pushed the destructive lifestyle that has caused your organs to fail in the first place, is now capitalizing on your failing organs. Okay, so welcome to dialysis clinics, etc. So that whole insane, disgusting racket will be addressed further in another video. But anyway, back to protein. Too much protein equals too many amino acids in the body, and when we ingest these excessive amounts, it basically leads to a toxic waste disposal problem for your body. Unlike glucose or fat, our bodies cannot burn protein for energy, nor can our bodies store protein. So this presents a problem when an overexcess is consumed. It causes your liver and kidneys to work overtime to get rid of the excess amino acids in your body, which cannot be burned or stored. When we ingest amino acids, in addition to oxygen, carbon, and hydrogen that they're made up of, they are also made up of nitrogen, which, as we know, when overeaten, turns into ammonia and then turns into urea. Your liver converts it to urea, which is an extremely toxic substance in the body, like ammonia. Would you ever drink ammonia? No. So when you eat meat and dairy and other animal proteins, your body creates its own ammonia, urea, and eating excess protein stimulates all kinds of crud. It makes cancer cells grow and thrive. It overstimulates our IGF-1 hormones, which is the main cause of cancer. You're literally turning on your cancer genes when you cause your IGF-1 hormones to thrive by eating excess protein. One of the main functions of protein is to facilitate growth. So when we're overeating the bad types of protein that we are eating as a culture, they are actually facilitating growth in ways that we do not want, leading to every dis-ease and disorder imaginable. Animal proteins, mainly dairy foods, especially whey, will make these hormonal levels soar in our bodies. You want cancer and every other disease, you keep eating dairy, especially whey protein. So there's a ton of IGF-1 in dairy because it's baby bovine growth fluid, and the mama cow produces it specifically for her calf to make it grow into a huge cow. Thus, cow milk contains a huge amount of IGF-1 growth hormones, not to mention the extra hormones that the cows are injected with to make them lactate for their entire short-lived, tortured lives. Yes, folks, make no mistake, mass-produced dairy is just a cesspool of pus, blood, hormones, antibiotics, pesticides, torture, and bad karma. Yeah, just pure poison, pretty much. Even straight from a healthy, free-to-be cow, that white fluid is for baby cows, not for any other mammal. Bats, cats, rats, not for humans, especially not for humans. So what about concentrated vegetable protein powders? Those can't be as bad as dairy. Well, Protein that is extracted from, say, a whole soybean and condensed into a white powder or into a block of vegetable protein for those fake meats acts in a similar way as animal proteins. You know, it's still an overabundance and excess of protein that our bodies do not need. Protein facilitates growth, and an over excess of proteins facilitates tumor growth and cancer and disease growth. If you are not eating enough raw, vegan, clean, green, protein-rich foods, and you want to ingest a condensed white powdered protein, eat only organic fermented sprouted white powdered protein. Rice protein powder. I advocate, you know, I promote Sun Warrior or Health Force Nutritionals. Those are just the purest, best brands from my research. So if you think you need extra protein for some reason because your CrossFit trainer convinced you that you do, then Sun Warrior is a great one. Sprouted, fermented, rice protein, awesome. So because, you know, so where do we actually get the most proper protein for our human herbivore bodies? Yes, we are herbivores. Those drumstick-toting cavemen, which the false dispersers of information establishment have put into our heads since day one, is a huge fable. Those frozen peoples that have been found around the world have been proven to be vegan. Okay, we have the technology now to assess that sort of thing accurately by doing hair and blood analyses and organ sampling, carbon isotope ratios, etc. And all tests point to vegan. These people were eating a diet of vegetation. So just because the people were found buried, frozen, wherever with spears, archaeologists just assumed that they were hunter-gatherer meat eaters. Wrong! The reason that these people weren't found with fruits and vegetables is because the vegetation disintegrated back into the earth. The rock material spears remained intact and didn't biodegrade. So these ancient humans had those for self-defense against other humanoids, not for hunting bigger animals with those highly primitive tools. These ancestors of ours from millions of years ago were a completely different type of humanoid than we are now. Also, they were actually referred to as nutcracker men because they had the biggest, flattest teeth and the thickest enamel of any known hominid, used for cracking nuts and eating bark, not for eating meat, ever. So let's get back to logic, peeps. Let's let logic prevail. But plants have a ton of protein. All life on the planet comes from plants, okay? They're the base of the food chain. They make all of the amino acids on Earth, and they are a perfect source of protein. So cut out the middle cow, cut out the middle chicken, and go straight to the source where those cows and chickens and horses and everything else get their protein. Plants! That's where they get it, plants. So our bodies, you know, actually recycle the amino acids inside of ourselves. We don't need any more. They're always recycling. That's right. When our body is fed properly, an optimally functioning machine will be able to run. It will properly use, conserve, and form its own amino acids constantly. Let's talk about the best sources of protein to get your body forming its own amino acids. Blue-green algae, the very first life form. E3 Live is an excellent source of this blue-green algae. Blue-green algae is 53% protein by weight. 53%. That is way more than any meat, way more. And we can't even digest the protein from meat properly, okay? Like I said, it causes all kinds of health problems. Forget it. Go straight to the source, plants. Green algae, chlorella, 52% protein by weight. And both blue-green algae and green algae are pre-digested and living foods, and they're just incredible, very absorbable because they're pre-digested source of protein. So chlorella, I have chlorella tablets right here. Life Give, they're amazing. I pop a bunch in my mouth. My mouth's probably green because I ate some before this video, but I chew a bunch of them every day. Whenever you have sugar cravings or meat cravings or starch cravings, pop a few of those in your mouth. They stabilize your blood sugar. They're a complete source of protein, so they stabilize you. And I like the chewing factor. They're salty and delicious, and they make me feel like I'm eating crackers, and I love them. I eat them when I need a brain boost or to cut cravings. And who cares about the green tongue? It's trendy. It's trendy these days. Move over, milk mustache. We're the green tongues. Okay, so blue-green algae, sea vegetables. Those were the second life form on Earth, full of organic sodium, massive amounts of protein. They have actually half of the amount of protein by weight as algae, but that's still a lot, like 25 to 30% protein. And then the land foods that we must eat for optimum protein are sprouts. All kinds of sprouts. I grow my own sprouts. I grow these broccoli sprouts on the countertop. Very, very healing, very nurturing. Broccoli sprouts, look it up. I get these mung bean sprouts at Whole Foods, organic. Wondering why Asian people have black hair until they're 105? Mung bean sprouts, baby. They eat these with every meal. Tons of zinc, really high levels of zinc. Makes your hair black, makes gray hair turn back to black, makes your hair regrow. If you're balding, mung bean sprouts. There you go. And sunflower sprouts, king of the sprouts, 33 grams of protein, 33%. Pea shoot sprouts, 25%, 27% protein. And wheatgrass juice is the highest protein of any of these sprouts on earth. It's actually a complete protein. The wheatgrass is the sprout from the wheat berry. It's a complete protein. It has all of the 9 essential amino acids. Every 1 ounce of wheatgrass is 1 total digestible gram of protein. Okay? And all sprouts fall into this category. So ideally, for optimum health and healing, 80% of our diets should be sprouts. Everything else is just a garnish. The king of the sprouts, sunflower sprouts, tons of healing omega-3s. All of the omegas come up from the sunflower seed into the sprout. Yeah, grow my own on the countertop. So there you have it, babes. Whole food, plant source nutrients create our over 2 million types of proteins in our bodies. The blood type diet is a joke, as is the false belief about genetics causing disease. It's epigenetics. We just need to be eating this kind of food to not turn on our IGF-1 hormones and keep stabilized and regulated and keep our bodies creating the proper amino acids and building blocks to make us strong, happy, healthy, youthful, vibrant. And all humans are humans, my loves. It doesn't matter what your blood type is. We need to eat the food that our species is designed to eat. No one blood type is different from another, but it's a great fairy tale that makes the industry a ton of money. And isn't it convenient that the government subsidized meat and dairy industry are backing that belief? So wake up, be logical, eat your plants, and feel great, okay? In love, in health, in happiness, in gratitude, and happy sprout munching.